I'm Nick Armstrong, and you're watching Dear Fort Collins, a podcast featuring the people that make Fort Collins a wonderful place to live. This series of episodes is all about the election that's happening in November 2025. And we're interviewing all of the different candidates for mayor, city council, and PSD school board. And we want to hear from them in their own words about why they're running, what they care about, and you then can be more informed about who you're voting for when it's time to fill out your ballot. With ranked choice voting, it's really difficult to know sometimes who your candidates are and what order you're going to rank them in. So I hope these series of episodes really help you figure out which candidates best align with your interests and needs. And as we do these interviews, I want you to know that I have given the candidates access to the questions in advance. I try to ask all of the candidates the same questions, or at least give them an opportunity to answer the same questions in the same kind of way. And there's very minimal editing on any of these episodes. So unless there was an errant sneeze or a cat jumping on someone's lap, you're hearing from the candidates in their own words. I do have a quick disclaimer to give you that I serve on the Parks and Recreation Board for the city of Fort Collins, and my opinions on this show are my own. They're not the position of the board or of the city. And I have also advised a number of the candidates about their campaigns, and in some cases have either helped with their campaigns or made a donation here or there. I do my absolute best to make sure that they all get fair treatment, that there aren't any favorites being played, and that also we're asking them the same types of questions and they have an opportunity to answer those in kind. I hope that you enjoy these episodes and that they help you become a more informed voter in the upcoming election. And if you do have any questions, concerns, or comments, please let me know and reach out on the Dear Fort Collins website. I'm always happy to hear from you. And some of the questions that you'll hear me ask of the candidates have been submitted by listeners and watchers just like you. Folks who are fans of the show and want to know more about particular candidates and their positions on particular things. So with that, let's get on with the show. On this episode, we have mayoral candidate Adam Hirschhorn. Adam, welcome to the show.
Hello, Fort Collins. Hey, Nick.
How are you? How's your campaign? You're running for mayor.
Yeah, it's pretty busy. I had the event in Sunday at City Park. I walked 12 miles back and forth for that. And then we had the Mayoral Forum on Monday and City Council last night. So it's go, go, go.
What motivated you to run for office?
Well, hypervigilance mostly. What I've seen is that we have been confronted on three sides by the Holocaust in Gaza and the blowback from that, climate catastrophe, and the rise of full-blown fascism. So somebody's got to save your bacon.
Tell me about your unique experience. Like, what do you bring to the table, and what are you hoping to do as mayor?
I'm a 13-year Wikipedia editor, and I have a strong grounding in facts and community. And so I want to bring that. I also feel like I'm less prone to vague posts about the directions that we need to go.
So can you share a specific project or issue that you'd like to tackle first if elected?
Well, last night I dropped the idea for a resilience and sustainability campus in North Fort Collins. And it's a lot. It's the way to get around the problem of funding housing by creating a campus with available funding for the things we need and just sprinkle that housing on top like Spice Bay.
It was certainly an interesting idea. What do you see the city's role in terms of sustainability, climate change, affordable housing? Where do you see the city falling in? What tools do you think the city has available, and what levers do you want to see them pull?
So far, and that might be disappearing, but so far there is a lot of funding available for that. That's some leverage, but you really need to be able to anticipate the problem, have some predictive ability to understand the magnitude of what we face. I started talking about this almost immediately after joining the Gaza protests in about March of 2024. And I was warning people, I've got this paper that says that we're going to see great floods in basins like the Platte Basin, which we're a tributary of. And I would go out and meet folks at water, and some of them were like, ha, and tried to sell insurance, which I mean, I guess as you can still get insurance, that's probably a good idea. But things started to pan out. I mean, tragically, but like I didn't have to wait too long before what I was saying came to pass. And now you see things like the Camp Mystic flood in Kerr County, Texas, and consequent with that, at the same time, there was the Rio Doso flood, another one. They got hammered hard with the wildfire in 23. So, I was working with city officials, tried to get a handle on that, push for an understanding of why it is that the insurance companies said we were going to have a fire in North Fort Collins in within 20 to 30 years. And those estimates are always pushed out.
So is that what you see as Fort Collins' biggest infrastructure challenge? And if so, how would you address it?
Well, it's like a rising tide. It's not our challenge yet, but very soon. Greeley flooded 3 times in a week last month. It's coming, and I definitely think Fort Collins is very well positioned to ride out the storm if we can take control now.
So as we there's the 97 Spring Creek flood, and since then the city has invested a ton of infrastructure into managing a river's worth of water through Old Town in particular. What do you see as other elements that are maybe lacking or that you would like to see improved?
You got to think about it in the bigger terms of there's desertification, the drought spots are growing. You can have a flash drought, and it's just getting warmer everywhere. So eventually, we'll need the capability to, first of all, create emergency heat sheltering, but also that might be something that everyone needs as just the everyday way to keep cool, the everyday way to remain comfortable as a city. And so I want to start to innovate a little bit of underground living, and everybody has different ideas of that, but I just like to pitch it like Casa Bonita. Everybody's familiar with an underground space that they're comfortable.
Knowing that that's one potential solution for the affordable housing crisis, are there other elements that making climate resiliency is part of the primary focus? Do you see that there is side by side or a corollary solution to the affordable housing crisis?
Well, I mean, yeah, obviously, if we're aiming towards densification, if we're aiming towards coordinating solutions that have synergy, that really include a lot of different things, you can start to have like a circular community where you can recycle what you need, where you can grow what you need, where it's attractive for people to come and visit right there on the site.
Tourism and Fort Collins and going hand in hand, building up our sales tax base. What does that look like for you in terms of what you're envisioning for the future of the city? How do you see Fort Collins in the next 20 years?
20 years is very bright and hopeful if we consider the brutal facts. Let's not count our chickens yet, but I think we've got a real great shot at taking control of the situation so that we don't end up like some other cities that we see in the Southwest. I mean, come on, look at what happened to Los Angeles and, the Phoenix area. And what is it? In the southwest corner of Arizona, that's not Mesa, that's Yuma. Okay. And a lot of these cities are just getting hammered by heat. And we know from Army estimates that it's the supply chain and infrastructure uh, which fails. So we're just watching those other cities as bellwethers, trying to make sure that we get ahead of the problem. And we do have a chance to get ahead of the problem because the adiabatic temperature gradient.
So you see it as a sort of a pathway of warning where we need to change course pretty quickly. That's your approach is that we're on a disastrous path right now and that we need to change course.
That's correct.
Okay. What does Fort Collins mean to you right now? Like, thinking about where Fort Collins is at right now, what does that mean to you?
Fort Collins right now? Oh, well, I love Fort Collins right now. I mean, it really, really sucks that there are so many people out on the streets. When I was born, a very comfortable home cost about $70,000 or one gold brick. What do you think it is today?
Oh, easily like 400 and something plus.
Those are okay homes. I mean, that's like an entry level home, right? A very comfortable home is still worth one gold brick, $2.2 million. People have a hard time understanding billions and billions. Like at the MB forum, they tossed around that Dr. Evil idea, we need $1 billion. Well, that's about 450 gold bricks. What can I do with less? They built the Burj Khalifa in Dubai for $1.5 billion. And I looked at that and I thought, well, if it's going to be something big, we might as well go ahead and grab all that we need and make a space for resilience and make that a model.
Yeah, and I can appreciate the idea of not advocating for half measures. Knowing that the city is facing a sales tax crunch, what do you think the city's role is in supporting nonprofits and in particular the arts and especially programs and organizations that aren't part of the official city initiatives?
Well, communication and appreciation is definitely important, but um, people are going to organize and do the things that they need to do to blow off steam, feel human, and I love that. And we're going to keep doing it. I don't think necessarily we should go all out at bands where we have like a pollinator side at the gardens. Maybe keep it down a little bit, but definitely, I don't have a problem with our culture of beer bands and bikes. That's cool. It's cool. And I talked to a guy last night who was from Reno. And he's bringing his daughter to CSU, and he's excited about it. She's excited about it. They wanted to know a few spots that they could go camp out. But as far as uh, the city budget crunch, let's not be wasteful in doing things that we've been doing the same way. We can do them cheaper if we basket them.
Are there specific examples that you have in mind for wasteful spending from the city?
My unit was flooded along with 17 other units when another unit on my floor had a fire. And so that renovation cost $500,000. That's that's quite a bit. And, I think they're doing what the insurance companies need them to do. But, if the housing has subsidence because of overwatering and it's kind of tipped like that, of course, if sprinklers go off, it's going to go all the way through the building. Making sure that, the basis of a structure uh, would be helpful. When we build those structures, man, there's a lot of money put into that, which could be uh, consolidated in maybe like a cooperative firm that has different parts of the construction phase. And, you know, it's it would be one reliable unit. It would be a Fort Collins owned business. I think everybody, when considering of just about any sector or phase of our development as a city, should really consider mobbing up, branching out, and digging in.
So, talking about the overall community, can you describe for me your understanding of the needs of the LGBTQIA plus community and our visitors? And also, how do we ensure the safety and inclusion of that community?
Well, I think we've done a really good job of it. That's what I hear in council, is that unlike other communities in northern Colorado, people do feel safe and protected, and we need to keep it that way.
Are there any particular actions in regard to that you would espouse for?
I just making sure that the police are on the same page as the community is fine with me. Do you have some other challenges or worries that you want to bring up? Because I think it's important to address this. I talk to people, and mostly it's about the federal government, and it's not about our community, which is okay. I still want to hear if you have some worries.
Yeah, I think that the overall feel of the LGBTQ plus community is that the national level rhetoric is incredibly damaging, harmful to the local level politics, even to the local level community and how folks are responding in and around their schools, their workplaces, and that silence essentially is complicity in this space. So unless there's a really loud and supportive vocal proponent of LGBTQ rights in a particular space, it makes it really difficult for folks to know who's safe and what places are safe. And it's in the same way of having the idea of a safe space. Is the lack of branding of a particular space as a safe space implicitly saying that it's a dangerous space? And I think that that's a question that we as a community have to look at really carefully.
Well, I'd like to be really visible with queer people. It's okay. I think that if visibility is an issue, I'm willing to address that. That's not a problem.
Given that this is our first major election using ranked choice voting, how do you plan to appeal to voters who may or may not choose you as their first choice?
I think my campaign is more suited to letting things play out. I'm talking about what's real, what's not real. If if you poke at that and you discover that the things that I'm talking about are real, then you'll consider my candidacy. I'm not I'm not really concerned about the salesmanship of things that are not a project, things that are not proactive action. Uh, when we have a very smart electorate that can tell if you're not being sincere. Sometimes I'm not sincere. Sometimes I play, kind of an absurd, like I stand against corporatism, and that's going to really make the fascists mad. But I can joke around about my buddy pal Donald Trump. I don't care. Um, it's it's not the person that makes fascism, that makes corporatism. It's the corporations and how we play along.
Do you see that Fort Collins has particular levers to help prevent the rise of fascism here? And we talked about a little bit of the idea of corporate greed and corporatism invading politics locally. Is this something that you think that the city has a role to play?
Well, yes, absolutely. If we've got strong community, if we've got small businesses that complement each other and they mob up, if we've got workers who need relief from that terrible devaluation the gold brick example, and they mob up, and we branch out to people unlike ourselves. Uh, we get that infinite diversity and infinite combinations, and then we can dig in against whatever comes.
Yeah. So it sounds like you're a strong proponent of mutual aid. Talk to me about the idea of generating a supportive small business environment and going to bat for those mom and pops over the larger corporate interests in Fort Collins.
Well, I mean, it's really important that when you see what kind of business models have an advantage in uh, the way things have become, like essentials, not dispensable income in most cases, uh, raw materials, and there's a real problem with um, sustaining productive work that's all shipped out overseas. So if we can get a variety basket of businesses to join hands, uh, that helps.
Turning back to you for a moment, what would voters be surprised to learn about you? And if you don't have anything off the top of your head, what was your weirdest job?
Oh gosh, I think at some point in college, I took a job at Chuck E. Cheese, and I was Chuck E. Oh my gosh, so, thank you.
Uh, that's amazing. What was it a good memory, hopefully?
No, oh my gosh, the kids, like, they knew that you weren't really that. They were a little bit hostile. I'm one kid tried to treat me like Jill Stein treats in the NYPD.
Oh boy. Well, how about any superpower? If you could have any superpower to help your community, what would it be?
Well, I'm trying to do that. I'm like, I'm trying to use predictive power and lots of trolls. And if I can see bad actors coming at me, and if I can see disasters coming towards us, I think I'm much better equipped to lead.
Who do you consider a role model in public service, and what have you learned from them?
You probably didn't think much of him. Most of my homies on the left don't probably think much of him, but I think James Bond Stockdale was a real inspiration to me. He was the Reform Party candidate in 1992 for vice president. And he famously started off a speech in a way that looked like war gathering, and so they kind of laughed him off. But he was a uh, Vietnam POW survivor. And when I started to look at, wow, this climate thing is actually quite intense. How am I going to prepare my brain space for this? I looked at the Stockdale paradox, which is essentially you've got to face the brutal facts of your situation, uh, no matter what they are, but never losing the faith that you cannot afford to lose to prevail.
What is one piece of advice you've received over the years but didn't follow and that you wish you had?
It's probably going to be more like the advice that I took that I shouldn't have. That's usually my weak point. I cultivate advice pretty well. I look for other people to draw inspiration from, that kind of thing. But my grandfather was really insistent that I go to college right about the time Senator Biden had made it so that you could never declare bankruptcy on student loan. So there I am, just trying to be my autistic ADHD self and experience college and really take it in. But it was definitely more of a thing where we've got you for life.
What did you study in college?
Music composition.
Huh. Wait, and did you do you put music into play now? Are you still musical?
No, the tinnitus, my ears ring a lot, so I kind of veer away from that, but it was definitely the kind of experience that helped me think creatively, helped me understand what it was like to work with large groups and lead large groups. Never had done anything like that before.
Adam, we're gonna switch over to rapid fire questions now, and all of these are fun. You just whatever's on the top of your head when it comes up, feel free to chime in. What is your favorite coffee shop?
Oh, it's the Alley Cat.
Favorite brewery?
Don't have one.
Okay. Favorite park?
Oh, Adora Park.
Did you know, I learned this the other day, that people come from all over the country to go to the Adora Disc Golf Park, and it's one of the most popular ones in the country, actually.
That whole hilly thing, where they have like high country trees, and it's just a wonderful ecology. It's a wonderful job at landscaping. It does it for me.
It's a gorgeous park. Um, Horsetooth hike or Pooter Trail bike ride?
Well, the glasses preclude the bike ride, although I like walking the Cooter Trail. Um, I went once. This is on my bucket list. I went once with a girlfriend to go up to Horsetooth Rock.
Mhm.
We got about halfway up, and she couldn't take it in the shoes that she brought. And, well, I'll have to go back one day.
It's a 6 mile hike. Have you gone to Horsetooth Falls?
No, I haven't.
Horsetooth Falls is a little bit more accessible, but I think it's actually a nicer hike. And then you get to have a picnic right underneath the waterfalls at a certain time of year. So it's a really beautiful space. Favorite book?
There are so many books. The last trilogy I ever read my mom was the Red Mars series by Kim Stanley Robinson.
If someone's getting a hold of you, do you prefer phone call, email, or text?
Email.
Would you call yourself an early bird or a night owl?
Do you have a six-sided die?
I do indeed. It's almost as if
All
you know I'm a
right.
gamer or
Okay.
something. We
Okay. What's the number?
4.
4. In this case, I'm probably getting up late around 10 or 11, and I'll have a good night.
Amazing. What's I'm a big fan of D&D, as you could tell, which is tabletop and Fort Collins Comic Con and all the rest of that stuff. So yes, I always have dice hanging around. What is your favorite nonprofit in town?
The Sava Center.
What's one word that you would use to describe Fort Collins?
Home.
One thing, if you could just snap your fingers and change anything about Fort Collins, what would it be?
Suddenly, everybody says their opinion, and we begin to work out what's actually going on behind the scenes.
And if you weren't running for office, what would you be doing this year?
Again, I probably don't like to go back in time and do things different, because I feel like I am where I'm supposed to be.
Adam, is there anything else that you would like our listener to know about you or your campaign?
It's going to be tough. Let's just say that the politics are a really strong arm this year, and that regardless of what happens, if you care about gossip, if you care about the climate, if you care about our democracy, and something happens, just remember what I told you. Don't be afraid. Being afraid will make it easy on you. Just mob up, branch out, and dig in.
And Adam, where can we learn more about you and your campaign?
In person. I ride the bus all the time.
Amazing. All right. Well, Adam, thank you so much for your time today, and thanks for being here on Dear Fort Collins. I wish you all the best in your campaign and future endeavors as well, and can't wait to have you back again sometime soon.